Hi, I'm Oliver Brent and I'm going to be presenting my new print and online North London magazine called Wrapped. This magazine is based on emerging rap artists that perform around North London. It is about influencing and encouraging my target audience to get familiar with 3 different artists, M. Huncho, Dutchavelli and D-Book Europe. The magazine will provide information on featured artists via in-depth interviews, artist bios, and pictures that help give an insight into their personality. Wrapped will also feature exclusive competitions and information on dates and times for upcoming concerts. My primary target audience are males aged between 18 and 25 who would be interested in UK rap music. This group are regularly active on social media and interested in promising rap artists and go to bars and clubs where this type of music is played. My secondary target audience are females aged 18 to 25. So my unique selling point will be promoting current and unsigned artists in North London and providing a platform for upcoming and unsigned artists to have a voice and gain exposure. So Wrapped will be available in 2 formats so that the audience can have different resources to access the magazine. It will be available as a hard copy so it can be sold in retail outlets and increase brand awareness, appealing to people who like that sort of format. It will be content heavy. Ensuring a hard copy of this publication is available to my target audience is extremely important because it is unlikely that they will stumble across this magazine while surfing the internet. Writers have an advantage of making more profit if the magazine is printed, as they get income from the bookstores. They don't have to worry about changing the layout of the particular format. Wrapped will be available to access online and will contain all of the information available in the printed version. Wrapped online will also include additional content such as links to videos and recorded interviews. This will help to make the online version more interactive. Both versions will be eye-catching. The website will utilise the same colour scheme as the printed version, but will have additional content to draw the audience in, with slideshows and small snippets of their music videos. For the online version, this will be updated on a fortnightly basis as there is enough content to use and it's much cheaper than producing a hard copy version. So benefits to having a magazine online: a lower cost of distribution, global reach. The content will be more interactive online so the audience can become more engaged and interested in the publication. And digital magazine is extremely convenient to access. So the ways I would market my product would be, firstly I would market Wrapped in North London by getting the artists who are featured in the magazine to promote it via their social media such as Instagram and Facebook. Secondly, the venues that the artists would be performing at would also promote awareness through their own website and social media platforms. By promoting the magazine on social media, the target audience would be aware of the venues that the artists are performing at because social media is extremely popular with 18 to 25-year-olds. Wrapped would be advertised mainly through social media because that will be the best way of reaching my target audience. I would also use more traditional methods of advertising, like marketing the magazine on local radio stations. This is a benefit because as a reliable platform, I can guarantee that the majority of my target audience would be listening and become aware of my magazine. So my mood board shows images of well-known rap artists who have been shot in both close-up and medium range. This allows the audience to feel close to the artist. The images show a more rebellious side to the performers, which links into the rap genre. So the resources that I would require would be a studio to take photos of the artists, camera, computer to set up the slideshows, set up the presentation, lighting, and microphone and recorder to record the interviews. The people that I would need would be a photographer to take images to make the magazine more engaging, interviewer, editor, and graphic designer. So I've looked at two different magazine competitors. Both are based in London. The first competitor is Echoes, which is a magazine that looks at black music and is published on a monthly basis. Echoes has an online version which allows access to back copies of the magazine. Similarly to Echoes, Wrapped Online will also allow audiences to access back copies. Echoes magazine offers a print and digital version and they charge £3 per copy. Echoes gives snippets of content from the next edition and the latest issue of the magazine. Wrapped website is accessible to everybody, but similarly to Echoes, it will only show a snippet of the content for each month. For those people who have paid their yearly subscription, they will be able to log in via private login details through a VIP section. I also looked at London in Stereo, which is a live music and gig guide for London. Both Wrapped Online and the printed version will have a listing section similar to London in Stereo. My competitor London in Stereo lists venues, events and concerts, but has minimal interviews with the artists. They offer their printed magazine for free as they make money through advertising concerts. The reason there is a charge for Wrapped is because it will include more in-depth interviews with the artists. The look and feel of the whole magazine, including the front cover and pages, will be matte. The colour scheme used will be mainly black and white, as these colours are generally associated and are linked to the vibe of rap genre. I feel that having this simple colour will help to make the magazine look slick and professional. I have chosen graffiti as my font, as this is often related to rap music. The genre is related to rebellious behaviour, with the graffiti font signifying bad behaviour. And this is my double page spread. It shows like the title at the top, Getting to Grounds, and my artist name is Brent Present, and as you can see, this is where I put my text at the side with the images being there and a bit of text at the top. And this is my front cover, my artist being there, my masthead there, the name of the artist there, and just cover lines around the side with the barcode at the bottom. Thank you for listening. I'm done.
Thank you.
Is the digital
brilliant? That's that. Thank you very much. The first thing when I looked at this, because obviously it was sent over to me in advance, I really got a feel on that front cover that this was like a fanzine, you know.
I don't know what fanzine is.
Which is a really good thing.
Yeah.
Because I think it really captures the particular genre. And if you wanted to go and have a little look back to way back when, long before you were born, but when I was around and similar to you in age, those sort of very early punk fanzines, there was a real sense of them belonging to the genre, and I think this picks up on that really nicely. So that was my first impression looking at that cover, was okay, yeah, this is someone who really knows this genre, understands it, and it looked I don't know, just looked authentic. So that was cool. Loved the font for the masthead. Like the font for the secondary font. If you got your Prez on, I know you haven't got it on there, it's okay.
I've got
it separate. They may be a little too similar. Keep the same styles, but I'm not too sure if the secondary font isn't too similar to the master font.
Okay.
It might need just a little bit more distance. I'm not saying change it, but have a look around and see what fonts are there. But the actual master font was bang on the money. Just have a little look if you can differentiate a little bit without going too far on those. I thought your content was good. I'd love to know what the difference is between 18 to 25 males and females. in your demographic? Because are they not the same, or is there a definitive? If there is a difference, brilliant.
Because it's
But do they
just.
not fall into the same, or
It's
is
just-
it that separated?
It's just I think males are more interested in rap music than females are, because females are like more interested in pop music and they don't go to like as they're like I just feel like males are more
It's an
they're just
interesting
more
one.
into rap music.
Yeah, no, that's fine. It's an interesting one because I wonder if within your content there's something to look at a developing female section within the market, because they're bound to be sort of female rappers and a female market out there. It's an interesting one to think about. That's all. I understand exactly what you're saying, but it's one to consider, especially if you can champion development of that segment. That could be a good thing to do, especially locally as well. Your local USP, absolutely bang on the money. Think about distribution as well. What can you do locally so that it really is embedded into the area? Are there certain places that people go outside of the mainstream? So maybe not into, certainly go into news agents, bits and pieces, but there are other areas where you might find, whether it's pubs or whether it's, I don't know, places, Waterstones, places where people hang out at that age. Just have a little think about that, because I love the idea that it's in its appearance, it's very local, it's very based, it's very located. So make sure you get your distribution out to ensure that everybody sees that. Really, really like the idea of getting the local acts to promote the magazine for you on their social media, people you've got in it. That was fab. I thought your research is really strong on your competition as well. And if you've got enough content to do, was it every 2 weeks you're saying online?
Yeah, fortnightly basis.
Yeah, that's fantastic. That gives it a really dynamic feel. And if you've got regular content updating, people want to understand what's happening.
Yeah.
So I thought that was really strong also. As was the idea of using radio. I think local radio is much underused as a medium for advertising. I think it was brilliant. That was a great idea. How many pages did you say it was? Did we say it was? Or have you got an idea? If not, have a think about it.
I mean, I'm not sure if I wrote it, but I'm probably like around 50 to 75.
Yeah, that's cool. Look, have a think about that and get it in your press when you develop this, yeah? Make sure you've got it. It impacts on your production costs, and it's something we've talked about with a couple of the other guys. That and 50 and 80 is really good. Remember, you've got to go into fours, because if you're online and you're printing it, everything is done in folded 4 pages. But I would much rather see 80 pages of high quality copy than 140 pages of stuff being stretched out. So that's a really good sort of 64 to 72 pages is really good. And also, again, this is just me thinking off the top of my head, because it's got that sort of really localised fanzine type feel to it, you can get away with saddle stitching that. So you're not necessarily a perfect binding. Not only does that cut you back on your costs, it just gives it that really accessible feel. It's not, it just works. So that's good on that. What else was I thinking? Oh yeah, the only other thing on it was just have a look at on your digital double page spread. Just have a little think about what you put as a background colour. I don't know if that blue was a little too strong. The green works brilliantly on the cover.
Yeah.
You might just want to fade that blue back a little bit, maybe tint it down, so it's only about 50% of the cover. Because what you don't want is the back cover overpowering the nice layout you've got on the copy. You've got some nice column layout there.
Yeah.
Don't let that back copy dominate that.
Yeah.
But overall, I mean, I thought it was, Ollie, I thought it was great. Really authentic, very local, and yeah, I can see myself. I can see it getting quite a cult following.
What's a cult following?
And being picked up. And print is back. Let's not forget that print is back. So if you get something that you want to pick up and feel, and it almost smells of the area and the genre, it's a good thing. And I think you're encapsulating that in some of the work we've done. So just polish those 2 things I mentioned. But yeah, good effort, really good effort. Anything you want to ask, my friend?
Sorry, go on, Ollie.
No.
No, good.
No.
Anything else to add, Miss?
Oh no, thank you. I mean, I think you've brought up two things that Ollie can go back and look at, which is what you mentioned earlier, the fanzine and the idea of the cult following. Because where there's a mass market sometimes and there's so much out there, what Ollie's done is he's found a little bit of a niche with the local feel, hasn't he? And that sort of that creating that ambience around the, which is what you've picked up, shows that there is real potential here. So have a look at fanzines. Just Google fanzines and cult.
Yeah, I will.
But you did extremely
Thank
well,
you.
and I've just seen this come together today in a way I haven't throughout the last few weeks. So well done, Ollie. Excellent.
No, Ollie, listen, honestly, really, really good, real good potential. And when you go looking on those fanzines, that sort of late 70s, 80s, you go looking for things like Sniffing Glue, which is the original one that was done for the punk scene. And also, funny enough, it then spilt into the Terrace as well. So there's lots of the football fanzines. And if you want to go and try and check them out as well, especially fanzines from the greatest football club in the entire world, Tottenham Hotspur.
You're on there.
But listen, great job. I enjoyed that. I really enjoyed it. I like your thinking. Oh, that was it. One final thing. On your front cover, yeah, when you did your sketch drawings, I quite liked that idea of rats being down the side.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if I should do it, but like I just thought.
I mean, listen, I really loved
it would be different.
the cover you did, but I don't know. I think it works both ways.
Yeah, but I mean, it would also be good if I did it at the top. But yeah, I just thought, why not?
No, maybe do both for it. But listen, sorry, that grand job. Really
Thank
impressed.
you.
Well done.
Well done, Ollie. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ollie.